When Tywaniquekya and Heath met more than 7 years ago, she loved his passion, while he loved her compassion. But now, dreams of everlasting love have turned into a nightmare.
I hear something vibrating, so I'm like, what is that noise? So I pull the bed out, guess what I find? A cell phone, y'all. Where they do that at? I answered the phone, right? It's a young lady on the phone. She tell me they've been dating for 2 years. Where they do that at? I want to know that.
I was addicted to this woman for a minute. You know, I was.
Leaving their dreams behind, Tywaniquekya and Heath are seeking a dissolution of cohabitation. Today, on Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Tywaniquekya and Heath Richard. The two of you have been living together for 6 years. You do not want to live together anymore. You have commingled some of your things during the course of your cohabitation, and you would like to resolve those issues here today, and we will talk about that momentarily. Before we do, however, Ms. Mackey, I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you're looking to end it today.
First of all, I want to say you look beautiful.
Thank you, Ms.
And
Mackey.
thank you for having me. First of all, let me let you know, I'm a professional woman. I'm a professional woman. I take care of my business.
Not an amateur sister, a professional woman.
Professional. I met Heath through a friend. We went out one night, and she brought him along with her boyfriends, and I was like, okay, she said, why don't you talk to him? I was like, okay, you know, I'll give him a chance. I talked to him. He's real deep, you know, he's real passionate about what he does and that kind of thing. And he was saying stuff to me like, you know, I love your being. I love your soul, your spirit. I mean, men don't say that kind of stuff no more. So, I was like, ooh, you love my spirit?
He got it.
You love my being? Okay, you know, we can do something, you know? So, he was a charmer, but things started to change. And like about 2 years, he really started showing himself. He's a cheater. He's a liar.
I'm a cheater.
Anyway, like I'm talking to you.
Give me some examples of when you've caught him cheating or what has made you think he's cheating.
First of all, he's had 4 cell phones, and to my knowledge, he had no phone. He's calling me from pay phones, other people's phones. I mean, why you got 4 phones?
Your Honor.
I'm talking.
How did you find out he had 4 phones?
Okay, the first phone was found under the bed, charging. I hear something vibrating, so I'm like, what is that noise? So I pull the bed out, guess what I find? A cell phone, y'all. Where they do that at? A cell phone under the bed. So I answer the phone.
Hang on, I'm gonna get to you.
I answered the phone, right? It's a young lady on the phone. She tell me they've been dating for 2 years. Where they do that at? I want to know that. Then the second cell phone I found was behind the couch. It was Christmas. So I pulled the couch out. Guess what I find? Another cell phone.
Yana.
But Yana, that ain't it.
Hang on.
That ain't it. In the cell phone, he got titles like sleazy, one night stand, crackhead. So we doing crackheads?
Come on.
Are you serious? Where they do that at, Yana?
That's extra. That's extra. Ain't no crackhead in there.
When he gets in,
extra.
I confront him, right? I ask him, he said, oh, this is my homeboy phone. This is my homeboy phone. For real?
For real?
Serious? So when he gets back and you want to talk now, you should be all talked out, AT&T. You want to talk to me now? You want to talk to me now for real? Where they do that at? So one evening, I'm like, I'm planning a nice dinner for Heath. You know, it's our anniversary. So I never go in his closet, right? He has jeans on top of his closet, so I'm preparing the evening, so I get his clothes out. I find 2 more cell phones.
In between the jeans?
In between the jeans. They both on, but guess what? He got them on silent, so I guess so the women can think his phone is on. They just ringing and ringing. Oh, he must be busy. So when he come in, y'all, and I ask him about it, he's like, no, that's my brother's phone.
I mean, if she knows my number, she'll call about 200 times.
Yana,
Mr. Richard, let me ask you this. Specifically, she said you had women's numbers under names like sleazy, crackhead, that kind of thing. Was that true?
No. Like it was a time when her and I was separated, and I had a phone. I did have a phone at this time. Anyway, I'll meet somebody, say for instance, like Heathís or something, you know? And just so I remember who it might say Kim Heathís or something like that, and she takes that to the extreme, like, oh.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you put phone numbers of people in your phone that you don't really know or don't really have any? I mean, why is his name in your phone if they're so?
I mean, exactly.
That you have to have the place with it. Why are they in your phone?
It's a conversation that might have intrigued me in some way, some form. So I might just put that where I met that person at.
How many intriguing men did you have in your phone?
I mean. Like, for instance, I might.
I asked you a question.
And okay, and I'll answer.
No. It requires a number. I asked you how many. How many
men like that.
intriguing men do you have in the phone?
I don't look at men like that. You know, as in intriguing.
So the answer is none.
No, but I might say Frank old school. You know, that just remind me of that's Frank from back in the day. You know, I mean, it's just something.
I put Joe Catalano. That's his name. The
right,
first name, last name.
Even if they did.
If you can't give me your whole name, you can't be in my phone.
When divorce court continues, has Heath been checking in with another woman all along?
So she calls me, they at the motel. I show up there, guess who coming out the room?
Well,
Mr. Heath himself.
Where
they do that at?
Well,
so when I asked him about it, guess what he say? It ain't what it looked like. What it look like then?
Divorce isn't easy. Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Tywaniquekya, who believes her live-in boyfriend Heath cheats on her every chance he gets. But will Heath finally explain where they do that?
Well, what were you doing at the motel, though?
He's not so-called not in the Facebook, but my friend, she called and said, you know, he's got an account, but it's not under his name, but he ain't got no face on Facebook. Why you ain't got no face on Facebook? He got, all he got is the silhouette. He ain't got no face on Facebook.
So what is that supposed to mean?
And then he's under the last name, Kabar. So that's what I do. I set up an account under an alias name, and I put a picture of a little kitten on there with the legs open. So I send it to him, guess what? Because he into that kind of stuff. Yes,
what?
he is, Your Honor. So of course, he accepts my friend request. I look on there, he's in a relationship with some woman. It's pictures of him and a woman all on Facebook. Tell me.
But I don't have no pictures on my Facebook.
But you don't have a Facebook, remember?
She says you don't have a profile picture, but she says you do have activity pictures, and in those activity pictures, there is another woman. Would you like to respond?
I do. I would.
Go ahead.
Well, first off, I didn't have a Facebook for the longest. Like everybody was like, get your I didn't want the Facebook.
Right.
You know? So anyway, I got one. I let my little cousin set it up for me because I'm not all that technical when it comes to all of that. So I let them set it up for me. You know what I mean? And so the pictures that you're talking about that's on there.
Don't talk to me.
No, the pictures that she's talking about, whatever. The pictures that she's talking about that's on there, I didn't even put on there because I don't even put pictures on there. And those pictures are what?
But hang on, so you're saying somebody else posted those pictures?
Right, because I don't even do that. And a kitten with his legs open, I don't even know what she's talking about.
Are those, when you look at those pictures, would you think friend or would you think intimate partner?
Intimate partner.
Mr. Richard, let him finish.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Richard?
It was. She was an intimate partner, though. At that time, she was. But I didn't put those pictures on there. Okay. And at that time, we was broken up, though, when we took those pictures.
So you guys were on a break when that happened?
We have those. Like, right now, I'm breaking for good. There's none.
Okay. Ms. Mackey, what else did you have to say?
The motel, let's talk about the motel. Okay. It's one particular woman that's always in our life. Well, she's always kind of, I can get Heath when I get ready to. I can have him. Let me tell you something. If he want to get got, let him be gotten then because he my man. So she calls me, they at the motel. I show up there, guess who coming out the room?
Well,
Mr. Heath himself. Where they do that at? So when I asked him about it, guess what he say? It ain't what it looked like. What it look like then?
Exactly. It wasn't. She, and you know what? I was addicted to this woman for a minute. You know, I mean, I was. I ain't going front. I mean, I'm being honest, but at the same time, you know, I was just like, it was a break. She called me, she was like, let's meet.
Hang on.
We met up there, and I was telling her, I'm taking this serious right now. I'm really taking my relationship with Tywaniquekya serious, and I just want to, go ahead and just leave it where it was. And she was a problem in our relationship for a while, and I admit, I let that happen. That was my fault. Mm-hmm. But at this time, what she talking about, that instance, that was broke off. We ain't have sex that day. We ain't kiss. We ain't hug. It was just a conversation. And
what were you doing at the motel, though?
I mean, she was just telling me. She was like, "Well, meet me up here." And when I went there, I went to talk with her. That was what was in my heart, just to go and speak with her and tell her.
She wanted more, but you didn't want more.
Right. I mean, and that's what she wanted to meet. Well, we'll meet.
When divorce court continues, Heath has some accusations of his own.
I'm in the bathroom, and there's a condom wrapper in the trash can, so I brought it to her attention, like, yo, what's up with this condom in the trash can? What's going on?
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter @DivorceCourt. Divorce Court returns with the case of Heath Richard, who says he's had enough of the drama from his longtime girlfriend, Tywaniquekya. But does Heath have a history of bailing in her time of need?
I had a miscarriage. I was 4 months pregnant with our child. I called Heath. He didn't even come to the hospital.
You know, as I was telling you, we go through our breaks. This is the final one. I'm in the bathroom, and there's a condom wrapper in the trash can, so I brought it to her attention, like, yo, what's up with this condom in the trash can? What's going on? Oh, that's not mine. You know, I let somebody over here when I was...
Okay, and I don't believe it.
Exactly.
I don't believe it, but Ms. Richard, let me ask you this. When you're on a break, don't you go out with other women?
But it's the fact that at least I can admit to my wrong. She don't do that. She don't do that.
She pretends that
she act like that she's all high and mighty. Like,
right.
I mean, and that's the thing. She always want to put herself at the top.
And let me tell you something, Your Honor. Your Honor, let me tell you this. Heath has 2 children. I don't have no children. He's never been there for me. He's never been supported. I had a miscarriage. I was 4 months pregnant with our child. I called Heath. He didn't even come to the hospital. Do you hear me? He didn't even come to the, and for 3 days, he didn't even come home. And you know what his excuse was? I was dealing with my own emotional battles. And I know I couldn't see you at that time because I know how bad you wanted a kid. Would they do that at Your Honor? He wasn't there for my grandmother. When my grandmother passed away, he told me he don't do funerals.
I don't.
My grandmother raised me. Your Honor, my grandmother raised me since I was a baby.
Mr. Richard, would you like to respond to that? How come you didn't go to the hospital when she had a miscarriage?
Well, for one, I did go to the hospital. I didn't stay at the hospital. I went, but the fact that she always put our business out there to her family and talked so down to me, I don't want to be around her family. That's all that's up there is her family. I don't want to be around these people. These people don't respect me because of her. You know, because she put me out there.
Well, what about the funeral?
Because I told her I don't go to funerals. I don't, but when she needed me when she was at home, I was there.
But Mr. Richard, let me say something. You know, manhood is not determined in the number of women you sleep with. It's not determined by how much money you make. It's determined by how you protect, care for, and secure those that are around you and that you love. You do things that you're not comfortable doing for other people when you need them.
I understand.
A boy stays home because it's not comfortable for him.
But I do.
It's not brave to do things that you're not afraid to do. Bravery is doing something that you're afraid to do and uncomfortable with because it's the right thing to do. And you need to be brave when somebody else is hurting. You were just wrong on that one.
I mean, the time she was in the hospital, before that, I had this camping trip set up for my boys. And I told her, the day we went up to the hospital when she was having a miscarriage, and I was like, you know, we got this camping trip set up, and I'm gonna take my boys. That's where we went. I went on to take my boys camping. That's the only place I went.
And
when we out in camp, when we out.
Yeah, Mr. Richard, I mean, I understand, and you have to keep your obligations with your kids. But when there's a crisis like that, you lost my kids, so I'm gonna go off with my other kids.
I mean, because when I went off with them, I went to explain and help them understand what was going on.
Right.
Because
did you go back?
Yes, definitely. But she the one that feels as if that I spend too much time with my kids.
3 days. He was gone for 3 days. He didn't call her nothing, Your Honor.
I can't call in the middle of the forest.
When Divorce Court continues, Heath's ex shows up and the gloves come off.
She come in my face, we get into a fight in front of the courthouse. I'm like, on my wedding day, are you serious?
Divorce Court returns in the case of Tywaniquekya and Heath Richard, who are seeking a dissolution of cohabitation after 7 years together.
The final straw was, last month we went to get married. We went through counseling, things were getting better. You know, we was having our date night and everything was, you know, it was getting better with us. And we get to the courthouse, my mother was there, my sister was there, and we get to the courthouse, guess who showed up? I'm in a separate car, he pulls up, I get out with him, I get out and meet him, his ex is in front of the courthouse. She goes out, when you gonna tell her you was with me last night, huh? So you really gonna go through with this? She come in my face, we get into a fight in front of the courthouse. My mama get her nose broke, all because him. I'm like, on my wedding day, are you serious? And for me, that was it. it.
Mr. Richard, I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond to that. What do you say happened?
Well, for one, I didn't have no understanding that she was gonna be there. It was her that even went speak to the female. Like, why are you even acknowledging this woman? You know, for one, I told you I wasn't messing with her. That day I left her at the motel, I was done. I never even messed with her after that ever.
Oh, this is the one that you had been addicted to in the past.
Right,
okay.
Right. So she came back and she was, I don't know, she probably heard it from someone through a grapevine because she always talking. And so
women talk about their wedding days. That's not gossip. That's woo-hoo.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
But the thing is like, why you even acknowledging her presence? I mean, to allow her to be what she is, allow her to be miserable, you know? I mean, she go and confront the female, and then they get into a fight.
Your Honor, it's my wedding day.
I mean,
but Mr. Rashad has a point about that, Ms. Mackey. It is your wedding day.
Right.
People come to destroy your stuff. They can't destroy it if you don't let them. I mean, if she in there kicking and shooting and fighting, that's one thing. But don't acknowledge her.
No, she came up to me. I didn't confront. He's lying. He's a liar, Judge. Now he's a liar. This man, he didn't work for a whole year. Do you hear me? A whole year. For 1 month, this man had me taking him to a place of employment that he did not work at. And when I asked him about the paycheck, when it was time to get paid, he finally admitted he was lying because he didn't want to upset me.
I heard enough. Tell me about the $3,700 you're seeking from me with respect to the wedding rings.
Because he was supposed to pay for them, Your Honor. And I went ahead like always.
You bought the wedding rings?
I bought the wedding rings.
I wasn't supposed to pay for anything.
He was supposed to pay for it. He was like,
He
said, go ahead and pay for it. I'm gonna pay you back. And that was what we were supposed to do. And I went ahead and paid for it because we get married. I know he's gonna give me the money back.
Your Honor.
Mr. Richard?
Your Honor. For one, she proposed the whole idea, let's get married. After counseling, she was like, okay, let's go ahead and do this. Let's make it work. Let's go ahead and get married. And I really wasn't feeling it fully, but because we still have a lot of unresolved issues. But I was like, okay, let's do this. So before I even knew, she went out and bought the rings. She went out and bought them. But then now she's telling me I have to pay them back? I have to pay you back?
I got it. Mr. Richard, you're a good-looking man with a good line, and you take advantage of it. You take advantage of women who fall for you. You took advantage of her. You were addicted to this other woman. Like, it wasn't my fault I was addicted to this other woman.
I didn't say it wasn't my fault.
You were right. Well, when you say addiction, it means it's beyond your control. And it isn't beyond your control. You had 2 women on the line. You had 1 woman willing to be the side dish, and you did it. Ms. Mackey, he is who he is, and once he's shown you that, it's your bad if you stay with him. Stop it. You're a good-looking, strong woman. Like you said, you are a professional woman. You need to move forward and move forward. You can't fix it. Wow. You can't make him be the man that you want to be, because that's not who he is. Right. Those kind of guys don't make good mates. I believe you went and got the rings. I don't believe he said he would pay you back. You wanted him. You're gonna tie him up and get him down, and you bought the rings and you got him down there. And I just don't believe that he promised to pay you back. He's not that guy. And I'm sorry. I wish I could give you some money, but I can't. But your freedom is worth your weight in gold. Move forward. Move forward and enjoy yourself. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
That's just who you are.
You just
go ahead and just live your life.
Good looking. You'll find another fool.
Live your life.
Yeah, live your life.
Be free.
Your soul.
Be free.
Your spirit.
Peace.
Yes. Peace.
You know, the 4 words I hear most from women who are hurt in this courtroom is, but I love him. They list all the terrible things their husband has done to them, and then they say, I'm staying because I love him. That makes me question if they know what love really means. If you're tracking him, tracing him, running around, getting hurt by him, getting called names, love alone ain't gonna cut it.